What's up, y'all? Welcome in. Welcome in. How y'all doing tonight? Welcome in, Detective. Shout out to my mod that I see in the chat already. Miss Angie Williams. Hey, girl. Now, how is the sound still on? I got my phone down. Hey, Donna. Miss Angie say, please like, share, comment. Thank you kindly. Welcome in, everybody. It's Lady Isis for those who are new, who are going to catch this replay, who are new. Better known as Spiritual Detective, or also known as Spiritual Detective, okay? And tonight, I'm just going to hop straight into the message. Hold on 1 second. Let me see what's going on with the sound on this phone. I had it on the radio, I forgot. Okay, there we go. There we go. So yes, what's up, y'all? How y'all doing tonight? And there was just a message that I felt like I wanted to talk about with the detectives, okay, with the family of the channel. And Spirit was telling me that it's time to put belt to ass. Like, it's time for the collective, the divine collective, to put belt to ass, or as the kids say, BTA. Because I feel like the collective energy is really given that people have just been playing in your energy too long, playing in your face too long, taking you for granted, right? And for some, even trying to take you out, literally. The collective has also 222 on the timer, 234 also may be significant for some. But I got my guns here with me, my snipers, my cards, right? Because I always want to know more about the energy that I'm picking up on. And I know a lot of times I am a part of the divine collective. So when I'm experiencing certain things, chances are my collective is too, or the divine collective is feeling a way about things too, or experiencing things too. And it's for us, it's for people like me to come forward and speak about this energy and these experiences that some may not have the language or words to speak, right? What's up, Patrick? And so I also feel like the collective could have been dealing with a lot of competitive like energy where you will find yourself where you're genuine, right? You're genuine to people and in spaces and in friendships, quote unquote, but it's always this secret competition, right? Playing a field, playing both sides when they really be malicious towards you and behind your back, two-faced type of energy, right? So that's why I'm that built to ass. It's time for you to act like who you are, the demon slayer that you are, right? Get rid of the people, places, and things that do not serve you at this time. It is not time to give people the benefit of the doubt. If they've shown you, what's up, Nicole? If they've shown you what side they own, not your side, not the divine side, don't allow them to take up space. Don't allow them to, play around. Don't allow it. You have to choose something. You have to stand for what's important to you. Your boundaries, if your boundaries are important, then you have to stand on your boundaries. And I know a lot of times boundaries may make a person feel guilty. If you're in the early stages of setting boundaries, until you get used to saying no with confidence, they will even try to play on your guilt. So practice saying no, as a complete sentence, right? You don't have to explain your no. You don't have to make them feel comfortable with saying no. Your no is just no. And if they feel a way, that's their problem, not yours. Because at the end of the day, you got to protect you. And people only going to do what you allow them to do. If you allow them to play in your face, play in your energy, treat you any old kind of way, right? Wear masks around you, be fake and phony, gaslight you, try to do things in the shadows like you don't see them, and be a snake, then that's exactly how they're going to treat you. Exactly, Nicole. Protect your energy and your peace. How important is your peace? Right? How important is your peace? BTA on the spiritual level. BTA, put their ass on the spiritual level, right? Let them know, I see you. I see what you're doing. Call it out. Or don't give an explanation if you don't want to. By any means necessary, Nicole, exactly. By any means necessary. But I know, praying on your downfall and jealous too. I said that. Competition. That's what's going on. Some of y'all might be sleeping with the enemy too. Look, copycat doppelganger. I literally said that. But they watching your moves, right? They jealous. They watch your moves. They want to be you. They want to be your doppelganger. You can't be me. Why do people want to be somebody else? That's an energy I never really understood. Like, I understand, okay, being inspired by somebody and maybe, biting a little bit. Like, okay, yeah, I like that. I'm going to apply that to my life. But to actually want to be somebody else, that's dangerous work right there. That's crazy work right there. And the collective that resonate with me, this is the type of people that y'all have to deal with. I know this to be actual facts. People will come around you. They'll study you, whether that's through social media, if they never seen you in person, whether that's at a workplace, in your relationship. You will find even in relationships that your significant other will be jealous of you, right? And they'll watch you. They'll watch your moves. They'll compare themselves to you, have that secret competition, copycat energy going. Where it's like, if you just be yourself, you don't have to worry about being in competition with anybody else. It's me, Isis, against Isis. Like, I'm just trying to be a better Isis than I was yesterday. I'm inspired by certain people, but we have enough creativity to be creative within ourselves to not be like nobody else and be your unique self, right? Patrick says, Nicole said at all costs. Yeah, okay. Patrick said, yep, jealousy from spouse is a dangerous thing, especially for the original woman. Facts, exactly. Jealous men are insecure. And see, that's just it. They don't have a sense of self. Exactly. So somebody could be sleeping with the enemy. And that goes to what Patrick is saying too about jealous men are insecure. Jealous men who are insecure are also very abusive. That's mentally, psychologically, emotionally, physically, financially. They don't want to see you evolve. These type of people are what I consider handlers, right? These are the type of people who come into your life on an assignment to sabotage you, sometimes unalive you, and to keep you from evolving and elevating and obtaining higher consciousness and ascending to your higher self, right? So they're assigned to you because If they are not contributing to you being the best version of yourself, then it's the direct opposite. They are sent to help you become the worst version of yourself. So we got to be mindful of the people that we date, the mindful of the people we allow in our space, friends, even family members. Family members don't want to grow and evolve, and they want to be your enemy, and they're against you being the greatest version of yourself and your success. Belt to ass, cut their ass off. Belt to ass. Black magic, speaking negative on you, bad intentions, mental magic. So that's psychological warfare, mind games. I wrote that down in my notebook too. Operations of self-sabotage. You know, a lot of times psychological warfare is meant to cause you to sabotage yourself while they can hide their hands and look like they didn't have a hand in the bullshit. Like they wasn't the mastermind behind that chaos, chaotic, confusing, bullcrap energy, right? So they want to create spaces and war, like a power struggle war, to where you self-sabotage yourself because you're not understanding where that black magic is coming from, right? That rich witchcraft and root work, bad intentions, and mental magic. You don't really know where it's coming from because sometimes the face, how they come off, it might not be matching the energy. So if they the type of person that know how to mask their intentions very well, which is what we would call, you know, a warlock, a narcissist, right? A covert narcissist, a wayward narcissist. They got so many names for it. Jinns, right? People who have the ability to really mask. I even had this card out here too. Mask. I got mask right here. Right? Not showing their true feelings, hiding who they are. Putting on personas, right? Gaslighting you. And you know something be off. You know something be wrong with how they coming off, but they'll gaslight the fuck out you and make you feel like you crazy. Like, no, that wasn't it. I ain't say that. I ain't mean it like that. That's not, but you know what you feeling. You know what you feeling. So it's important to pay attention to your intuition because motherfuckers is really sick out here. The intentions that people have and the extent that they will go when they are envious of you, sick. It's sick. Let me see what Patrick said. He said, I think it's different. I think they have a sense of self, but when their spouse evolves and level up their sense of self about themselves, it's proven to be inferior. I think a lot of times with narcissists, they have a false sense of self. They have a false sense of self. So it's rooted in ego. So as long as you are in a position where you're in a submission position, right? Or you create an environment where you're the one walking on eggshells and they're comfortable dominating you and controlling the environment and operating from their ego and not being held accountable in that space, and identify with their ego as their self, because that's what they think. They think that their false self is their true self. That's why they defend it so much and can't take accountability. So I think their sense of self is extremely distorted. So then when you and Patrick, you're right, when you start to level up around that space in that type of environment with the fucking narcissistic monster, they perceive your level up and sense of awareness because they feel like they're supposed to be in control of your autonomy and your way of thinking, right? Every part of your being they supposed to control. So when you start to become who you truly are and in your sovereignty and in your mind, your right mind, they perceive that as a direct threat to them. They will become violent. They will become violent. And they will make it their business to try to tear you down. and put you back into that submission position. Built to ass. Cut a bitch nigga, cut them off. Okay. You say, yep, my mother, hold on, I missed something. You say facts that masks fall off. Okay. The thing about wearing a mask, it eventually falls off, exactly as the false sense of self. And yep, my mother went through this. Love my mother so much, as you should. But that's just it. They'll become violent. That narcissistic energy. That's why I say it's nothing to play with. And that's why I'm saying put built to ass, stand up, stand for something. I encourage y'all, share this live to somebody who might need to hear this information, because what happens with a lot of empaths, and including myself, it's hard to set boundaries when you have been programmed as an empath to be a people pleaser. It's different to set boundaries. It's like, wait, am I doing something wrong? I feel guilty. What? People are not going to like me anymore. I'm not going to have friends. My family not going to want to deal with me. That's the sacrifice that you make, though. That is the sacrifice you make when you put BTA and when you set boundaries and you no longer fall victim to people pleasing and you tell people no. Being with a narcissist in a relationship who's abusive. Women, you have to go about it very strategically and very calculated. You cannot be sloppy, and you can't, because somebody, this energy sleeping with the energy is sleeping with the enemy is here in a snake, right? So I'm going to speak on this. Right? When you're dealing with the abusive narcissistic male or person, but specifically a romantic relationship, you have to be strategic, calculated, and if they put their hands on you, you need to be filing complaints and pressing charges. Complaints filed and charges pressed. Okay? That will be they built to ass. And then you don't stop there. You actually press the charges. You get you a PPO and you get you some license to carry. And you make sure that you protect yourself, because narcissistic men will get violent. Okay, when you're trying to leave them, coming out of an abusive relationship, most women get unalive trying to leave or have left that relationship. So it's nothing to play with. You're talking about a severely, deeply rooted, insecure, mentally unstable, psychotic, envious male. Exactly. If I can't have you, no one else will type of mindset. That's a real thing. That is a real thing. It's nothing to take lightly. It's nothing to play with. You don't make excuses like, oh, they didn't really mean it like that. No, you believe them the first time. If they telling you things like that, you need to believe they ass. Don't spare them. Okay? I'm speaking from experience when it comes to that. You stay on their ass. Now, if you can remove yourself from people, places, and things peacefully, which I won't really say peacefully, but you're peaceful, right? You leave and they let you be, and you be in your own space, and they don't come after you or try to attack you, that's different. But chances are, when you're leaving a narcissistic, abusive relationship, they will try to attack you or come after you or get you to stay, or, put you in a position where you are locked into that karmic cycle. Say, I'm so proud of my mom for having the courage to leave the DV relationship she was in. And it takes a lot of courage, but it takes a lot of smarts too. You got to be very careful, especially if you have children. Okay, get that PPO, Divine Collective. You feel threatened for your life, you need to be filing reports. Keep track and evidence of everything. Everything. Because they won't stop until you show them they have to stop. Get cameras put up. I'm hearing cameras. Some people may need to put cameras on around their houses and things. Because narcissists need to know that you will put belt to ass and you're not playing. You're not. Because they have this sense of entitlement. Like they can do whatever the hell they want to do. No, you can't. Absolutely not. And I'm sorry to myself that I allowed you to feel like you can abuse me and I wouldn't stand up for myself. I have to apologize to myself that I allowed you to feel like you could play with me like that. Apologize to yourself and keep it moving. Put them boundaries up. And no matter what they do or say, don't ever let them come back. Get them up out of there. That go for anybody. Spiritual attack. It's time to refocus your focus and let the things go that no longer serve you. Then they'll do things. Spiritual attack. It says someone is attacking your character. So when they realize that they can't get through to you anymore, that's exactly what they'll do. Smear campaigns. They'll start to make up lies about you if they wasn't already doing it. If they wasn't already doing that, they about to turn that heat up about 1,000%, make you really look like you're the monster that they was. Like they could do no wrong. You just left for nothing. Right? Patrick, stay proud of all of you. We appreciate you, Patrick. Yep. Psychological abuse. It's a hard thing to break. You're in a state of trauma. You're in a state of fear. You're in a state of survival. So you're not who you truly are. And that's the energy that narcissists like to keep you in. They like to keep you mentally unstable. They like to keep your nervous system unstable and disarmed, right? Because if you're in a state of fear, then you're pretty much prone to being submissive to anything because you're afraid. I don't see how any man would feel powerful operating in a relationship like that, knowing that the woman is scared of you. Like, how does that give you a sense of power? When a woman is afraid of you and you think that, like, that feeds the ego, I guess. It's got to be, because that don't make no sense to me. I would not want to be in a relationship where somebody is afraid of me. You're supposed to feel safe in your relationship, right? This 9 of Wands card came out. You're supposed to feel safe in your relationship. They didn't want you to feel safe because it makes them feel powerful. Queen of Pentacles in reverse and the King of Swords too. Yeah, keep you unstable, attacking your root chakra. That's your sense of groundedness and stability. And the King of Swords, that's being able to set boundaries and, trust your intuition. Sick. That's sick. Lay. Like, Nicole says, I was in a emotionally and mentally abusive relationship for 15 years. It's very draining. It's very, very draining. I could just imagine. And I'm glad you got out of that situation. And I think a lot of times people don't think that anything outside of physical abuse is that serious. It's all abuse. Abuse is abuse. Whether you are, if you're being emotionally and, mentally abused, it all affects your psyche. It all affects you in a way where you are not fully present within yourself. It's abuse. It's traumatizing. It's mind altering. Patrick says, facts, keep a woman as a pet to their altered reality is a narcissist handbook. Sick best. Yes, it is very sick. It is very, very, very sick. I call it the psychopath consciousness because they be undiagnosed psychopaths. A lot of them refuse to go get help, refuse to go get any form of therapy to get diagnosed. So you just got to trust what you feel. They feel like a psychopath and something off in their frequency, there's something off. Don't even entertain it. And these days, men are, when it comes to dating, once you become healed, speaking from a woman's perspective, it's like niggas don't even last 24 hours with me before they get cut off. It's like I'm trying to really understand this energy, but I know that most men are narcissists, most of them. But it's like, why reach out? Why try to talk to a woman? Why try to, if you're not going to follow up, why do it? Why try to talk to him? I don't get that at all. I just don't get it. Dating is very strange when you become aware and awaken and ascend. It's very, very strange. And I feel like I can't pinpoint it. It's like I know what it is. Maybe it's intimidation, right? Okay, cool. That's what I'm getting. Thank you, Spirit. It is intimidation. It gotta be. Because they like women when they are, pick me's. They like women when they are submissive. They don't really have a sense of self, or, they're looking for outside validation. And I think narcissists can pick up on that energy. I think narcissists can read women to the point where they know the ones that they can play with like that, and then the ones that they can't. So it don't make it with me. This is my experience here. It just don't make it past that with me. It's like, okay. And then judging. I think a lot of men miss out on women, good women, who they judge first. It's like they're looking for this certain type of woman, and when it don't turn out to be that, they automatically lose interest for whatever warped concept of a woman they got in their minds of what society tells them that a person should be, how they should be, how a woman should be. It just warps all of that. So to the point where they cannot see a real woman for who she is. And instead of judging see, or from the outside looking in. They don't see her in her fullness, in her essence. And that don't just go for men and women in dating. I'm just speaking about that in particular because that's what happened to me recently, and it's been happening quite often. But and I know that's because a lot of the divine collective is going to be connecting with their divine counterparts. And what you will find is that, look, with the 10 of cups at the bottom, that represents family, abundance, divine connections. Thank you, Spirit. But that's what's happening. So the matrix will send you false counterparts, or, to kind of delay. But then when you are divine, right, and you're a divine being, they won't make it. They can't even stick around long enough to delay anything. So that's another energy I've been picking up a lot with the divine collective, the ones that's really been doing the work in the trenches, honey. Okay. Because it takes work. It takes work. And that's the one thing, that's the main thing that the matrix want to keep us from connecting with, is your divine counterpart. You are already a force by yourself as an awakened being. You're already a force. You already tearing down illusions and creating new timelines and things like that, right? Just imagine the type of force you are as a divine partnership. Two awakened beings that have the ability, to tear shit up spiritually. They don't want that. But the divine collective, we've been waiting patiently. It's not, because we know the value of substance. We know the value of having something that's worth waiting for. So when I realized, you say, what is a pick-me woman, Patrick? Oh, wait a minute. I missed a few comments. Hold on. Okay, you say bingo. Yes, they're usually sociopaths. Look, I say psychopath, sociopath, just that dark triad energy, where it's the narcissist, the Machiavellianism, and the sociopath or psychopathy, whatever the hell. They crazy. They batshit crazy. That's the point. All right, Patrick said, what is a pick-me woman? A pick-me woman is a woman that'll do anything to have a man. She's very desperate. She thinks that her value lies in how a man perceives her, or if she tries to be desirable to the male. She'll do anything to have a man. She'll sacrifice her own children to have a man. She'll pay for a man. She'll become something that she not to have a man. And she'll also go against another woman to have a man. She the type of woman that don't have no sense, no authenticity, no personality, no sense of self. She want to be submissive to a man because she don't love herself. I can go on and on. She don't know her value. That's a pick-me. That is a pick-me. And that in the matrix and our family dynamics and shit like that, they set women up to be just that, pick-me women. Most times in most family dynamics, they set women up to be docile, small, submissive, little, don't take up a lot of space, be seen, not heard, cater to the man, do all of this for the man. What about me, motherfucker? Well, what about me? Who gonna take care of me if I'm spending all my time taking care of grown-ass men? Who gonna handle me? Well, can't nobody handle me like that, but you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. And that takes a special type of man to handle a woman who is in her power and know who she is. He got to know who he is, and he got to have self-control, and he had to have a sense of self-realization right? Higher consciousness and be totally tapped in with source to handle that type of woman with that type of force. It is what it is. All right. When I realized I wasn't loving me in totality and compromising myself spiritually, emotionally, mentally, and physically, it was time to go. You had to get up out of there. You had to get up out of there. And you know what? We all have, as we all should, as women and men, right? I don't compromise. I don't think that it's necessary to compromise. I don't like the concept of compromise. I had to learn that too, Nicole. I had to learn that because we're programmed to believe that we have to give up parts of ourselves to be accepted, right? To be loved, you know, to seem like that's what we got to do to be valued, right? We giving up parts of ourselves. And now I know that was never love. If I have to give up a part of me just to be loved and accepted by you, then you are not my person. Those are not my people. I should be able to be me and my wholeness. My cup should be full, right? And then whatever flows over, that's something that we share together. But it's never, I'm pouring I'm already halfway empty. And then I'm pouring that into your cup and filling you up. Oh no. Oh no. No. That ain't gonna work. That ain't gonna work. Because you know what you will find? That'll drive you straight into depression. You'll be stressed. Your cortisol levels will be high as hell. You get blood pressure problems, all type of ailments going wrong in your body, all because you are depleted. And see, that's what the Matrix man want the woman to be. Depleted, oppressed, repressed, and depressed. That's what they want. They satisfied. As long as you depleted, they're satisfied. Fuck that. Fuck that. So this is why I say, women, we got to make sure that you have your own. You have your own everything. Pay your own bills, have your own car. You got the devil card right here. Have your own car. And if you don't got one, okay, just don't be too dependent. Okay, because you got to know what type of, you attract a different type of man when you got your own shit. You attract a different type of person when you got your own thing going on, because then you're not just trying to look for somebody to be codependent on. Like you need somebody to help save you. Right? Remember we was talking about this the other day. Men that see you with the vulnerability with that, if they got bad intentions, they're going to use that as an opportunity to exploit you and abuse you. So if you ain't needy and you ain't a desperate pick-me, they got to come with something else, right? Oh, you got to come with substance. Oh, you got to be healed. Oh, you got to be respectful. Exactly. Exactly. Say facts, Patrick. You say, yeah, realities. You say, got it. Anything for a man, sad, desperate, low value. Exactly. So I always knew I was surprised. My crown just got a little shifted. Yeah. Me too. I always knew I was surprised too. That's why I left. I had enough sense and self-worth to leave. I would leave anything that don't serve me. That could be a job. That could be a Negro. That could be anything. It don't matter. I've always stood on that principle. If it don't make me happy, I got to go. Because what are we doing? Like, I do not like the concept of we got to make shit work. Make shit work sounds like I got to do something that I don't want to do, that's not going to make me happy, but it's going to serve you. That's what that sounds like to me. I'm not doing shit for peace sake. I'm not doing shit that sounds near, none of that. I'm just not doing it. I'm not. Because people, no. It's a no for me. It's a no. Say I always know it's okay. Prize, that's right. Know your worth. Exactly. Know your worth. Trying to keep you out of your power. Keep you from creating. Right? Keep you sad and down. I got so many cards right here in my hands with the devil, everything else in reverse. The magician is up straight forward, upright, and then everything else in reverse after that. Straight up bullshit. Right? So no. No. We got to both have our cups full. And I have to be able to be exactly who I am. And you be exactly who you are. You ain't got to dim your light for me. And I'm damn sure ain't dimming my light for you, boo. Oh no. My light ain't got to dim your light. Right. Self-respect is key. Self-respect is key. I love me enough for the both of us. Can you say the same? Oh, okay. Okay. That's how it gotta be. Shit. I love me enough for the both of us. Feel detached from emotions and people around you. And I think a lot of times we stay in situations and relationships that don't serve us. Because I got the sacral chakra card here that I'm reading. It says, feeling detached from emotions or people around you. Letting go, accept change, and life transformation. A lot of times women are afraid of being alone or what they perceive as being alone. Right? And it's not even that you are alone. It's not, because you're never truly alone, right? We're spiritual beings having a human experience. You got your ancestors, you got your spirit guides, right? It's spirits all around us, okay? Good and good, low vibrational and high vibrational ones, right? But once you realize that and accept the change for what it is and accept people for who they are, that will make it easier for you to detach, right? And remove your emotions, because that is the currency. Energy is currency, right? Your emotions are energy in motion. So when you learn to remove yourself and detach from things that don't serve you, that's you calling your energy back. And now you're using your energy for your own benefit. Right? And you're able to use that energy to transform and become an even greater version of yourself. Say, he said, if I'm bringing the table, he needs to bring one too. Look, because I am the table. I am the table. So I love me enough for both of us. Facts. Wow, great work. Yes, that's how you got to think about it. I love me enough for me and you. So I'm good with you and I'm good without you. I would like to have a person around that, with the same views and we vibing on the same frequency and things like that. But I'm also quite all right without you. Good to have you. Good to have you gone too. Right? So where your energy goes, currency flows. This is the real meaning of knowing that you're the prize. When you start to realize that your energy is the true value, not money, not materialistic things, hell, not even people. Your energy is. This is the main thing. This is the wealth. Your energy is the wealth. So that's what everybody is out to get. All these energy vampires and narcissists, they want your energy so that they can use your energy to create with and to build and keep illusions going for you, right? And to keep their ego satisfied. The color orange can be significant in water signs. Speak your truth. Speak your truth. Said, yeah, that table was overused. Red pill dudes don't even have a table to eat on. Patrick, he says, if there are men in the chat, I'm not going hard on men just because it's accountability and understanding for your information. You know, we don't cater to men feelings, you know, because what I realize, a lot of men are emotionally unstable anyway. They don't like to be checked. They don't like to be held accountable. And they perceive them being held accountable as a direct threat to their fucking egos. So I don't apologize. We don't need to apologize, you know, because if you're a man and you can get exactly what I'm saying and you can process that and respond with a level of intelligence, then they're choosing not to. It's not that they can't. It's not that they don't want to understand. They just choose not to because it don't benefit them. So I don't cater to men's feelings. Fuck they feelings. It's about facts. It's about facts. And we speak the truth over here. That's what we do. Look, speak the truth and self-control cards right here. I'm looking at self-control. That's what it's about. You should be able to hear a person speak and not get offended. Just observe what they're saying. Process it. Dissect it. You know what I'm saying? And then be like, okay, that's actually facts. I do get what they're saying. And if you don't, you just don't. And that's okay too. It's not an argument. That is okay. Energy vampires. You are the master of your reality. Belt to ass. People like to play games and we passed the test. I feel like we're going through a collective ascension again right now. You know? And the goal is to vibrate and vibe in the 5D. That's the goal. And to be connected with our soul family, our soul tribe, and our divine counterparts. The Matrix don't want to see that happen. The red pill men don't want to see that happen because it's in alignment with nature. It's in alignment with natural law and order. And they don't want that. Why? Because they don't benefit off of nature. They benefit off of destroying nature. So we don't pay them no never mind. They don't get no respect. They don't, nah. You get no respect. You get no regard. Fuck you, actually. Because nature is me. She is me. Nature is me. So if you can't respect nature and natural law and order, you damn sure ain't gonna respect me. So why should I respect you? And it's usually the niggas that don't even love their own mothers. Hate their mammies. And then you want to take that same mentality out into the real world because patriarchy told you that's what you ought to do. That's what the oppressors told you. That's what you do, right? Okay. Get your feelings hurt over here. Say facts. He say don't baby a man's feelings. Major facts. Absolutely. That's the thing. These mamas, they be too busy trying to raise their kids, their sons to be their man. Baby and their sons. Then they grow up emotionally incompetent. Say fuck they feelings. Facts. Love that. Facts over feelings. Say it all the time. It's got to be facts over feelings. If you want to grow and you want the truth, you're going to have to put them feelings to the side and be like, you know what? I want the truth here. I need to know. A matter of fact, there was a guy that told me, he said that he tell his son, you will never understand women. And I asked him, I said, well, why are you telling him that? Why do you think he will never understand women? You know, y'all, you know, he go down the list of things and why he feel like that. And I'm like, it's really all about understanding and you not having a desire to control the woman in any way, shape, or form. That's what it's about. See, men don't understand women because they don't want to let go of that sense of control that patriarchy tells them that they should have over the woman. So they can't see her as a human, right? As a person, as an individual, because the woman as something that needs to be dominated and controlled. The confusion comes in right there. It's not your responsibility to control the woman. It's not. But you shouldn't be teaching your son that. Your son's, oh, you'll never understand a woman. They complicated. What is your definition of complicated? Do you mean that they don't want to listen? They're not easily for you to tame? Because then we went off into another conversation where he's like, basically, I want a woman that's going to listen and not give me no back talk. Back talk? What Nikki say? Back talk? But ain't got no something back talk? You don't want me to say nothing back? You don't want me to question what you think you finna tell me to do? This ain't for you. I'm not for you. Sorry. Not sorry. It's not. So we really got to dissect the meaning that what are you talking about when you say women are complicated or that you would never understand them? What? Oh, so you want to tame a woman. You want a woman that's going to listen. I listen to intelligence. It got to make intellectual sense to me. I got to feel like in my intuition that it makes sense. And if it don't, I will not listen to you. I wouldn't even consider what you're saying to me. And that's where the conflict come in at, right? That's where the power struggles come in. It's unnecessary, right? Because in their minds and their psyche, they've been programmed to believe I got to control her. I got to tame her. And if I can't do it with my mouth, now I got to do it with my bitch ass hands because I'm bitch made. So I got to choke her out to make her feel like I'm in charge. I control you. Fuck niggas. You say, what's an unpopular opinion that you have? Can be for another life. I'm not sure how to answer that yet, Patrick. You say it could be for another live. I have a lot to say, as y'all can see. I could get on here and talk about anything. And a lot of times, just speaking facts, just speaking from experience, it's an unpopular opinion, right? Some people might not agree with it. Matter of fact, that was a comment somebody left about what did she say? She don't agree with my spiritual views. Not all of them, rather. And and I left a comment basically saying the truth is not about whether you agree with it or not. It's not the truth don't seek validation. So, and it's not about whether I agree or you agree or whatever the case may be. It just is what it is. So just being a true speaker, you get pushback or it's unpopular a lot of times because it's not in alignment with what that person might have been programmed to believe. Right. But I'm gonna think about that. You say men need to listen. That's a major problem. Communication is key. Right. But when they're double-minded and they are not in their authenticity, right? And they think that things outside of themselves give them a sense of power or a sense of self. They don't want to hear nothing. They only want to hear what they want to hear, what they've been taught to hear, to listen to. and mind, right? That's all they care about. But they're energetically serving two masters. They double-minded. A lot of men are just double-minded. They are. But communication is key. But you know what? Let me look up something real quick. Back talk, but ain't got no something back talk. Communication. Let me look that word up. All right, so another word for communication obviously is speaking, right? But dialogue. A lot of if they don't have the ability to have dialogue. People who are egotistical don't want to see the truth. They rather be chaotic and confusing, right? What else it say? Speech, interchange, head to head, pow. Yeah. And I feel like a lot of times people do that on purpose. I feel like a lot of times people purposely will communicate in a confusing type of way because they're trying to siphon from you. It's not hard to communicate with the person to seek understanding. It's not hard to do if you just listen and process. Maybe it's asking them to do too much because you do got to do multiple things at once. Multitask. Most men are one-track minded. It do require a level of skill in art. Communication is an art. Divine communication is a frequency. You have to be able to listen, process, digest it, dissect it, and then respond in a way that still shows respect and reverence to the person that you want to have effective communication with. That means you are not seeking to cause more confusion to a situation. You want things to be copacetic and peaceful. So people that chooses to communicate in ways causing confusion are diabolical to me. And they do it on purpose. Let's look up another word for confusion. Let's look up agitation. So if they're communicating with you, most times men who are or people who are egotistical, they are not seeking to communicate with you to get an understanding, right? They want to communicate with you so that you would submit to them in a way, right? It's like, well, it's like a competition type of thing. Power struggle. It's a power struggle. And they want to win because it's a battle. A power struggle is a psychological battle. So they want to win the psychological game because they're narcissistic and egotistical. So they view effective communication that requires a skill that I just named. We went through there. It's a skill that they lack. So instead of them saying, I don't know how to communicate, they make it a battleground, a power struggle. I'm not arguing with nobody. We're not going back and forth. We have to effectively communicate where I am completely heard, you are completely heard, and we come to a solution. But see, narcissistic people and egotistical people, they will find a problem to every solution. They will find a problem to every solution. Can't do it. So another word for confusion is perplexing, agitation, fog, a mix-up, unsettling, difficulty, misperception, because all of that has to do with how they perceive and their perception, right? And it has to do with their ability to tap in with the truth. Communication is truth. Effective communication should be rooted in respect and truth. That's why narcissists and egotistical people are not able to effectively communicate. Their perception is distorted, misperception. They're confused. They're double-minded. They don't love themselves. All of that plays a part because they're seeing things from a limited perspective. Very limited. With a low IQ on top of that. Another word for confusion, or another word for, yes, confusion, is mess, ignorance, lack of certainty, doubt, misgiving, distrust. Another word. Misunderstanding. Another word for communication is misunderstanding. Illusion. Another word. That's what I mean. Limited perspective. Their perspectives is rooted in false illusions. So they won't be able to effectively communicate with nobody. They gonna hear shit. They gonna be hallucinating. They gonna gaslight you. They gonna make shit up. They gonna say you said this, knowing damn well you didn't say that, but they gonna swear up and down you said that shit. So that's when we gotta start recording, motherfuckers. Start recording people. Oh, no. You said this and I said that. You trying to gaslight me. I see you. That's why I keep tabs. That's why I keep record. Because you ain't finna lie on me and you ain't finna tell me I said something when I know I didn't say that. I always stood on the principle of truth. Always. I'm not going to lie or sugarcoat nothing. And if I'm trying to reach a space of solution, you got to be truthful. You got to be honest. And you got to be willing to accept the truth for exactly what it is without adding your distortions and hallucinations to that. Now I see why people say, yeah, you got their side, you got one side, you got the other side, then you got the truth. See, that's the mind games. It should just be the truth. Because what they're implying is that everybody hallucinating, and then somewhere in their hallucinations, you got the truth. We got to have the truth first. That's got to be the foundation. Right along with respect, honor, dignity, truth, peace. Ain't no need for no argument. So you say I have a mouthpiece, but I use my mouthpiece for peace. Exactly. You say laugh out loud. Their whole made up reality is a misunderstanding. Literally. Like I'm like literally hallucinating. Literally. Because you know what happens? Okay, a lot of times narcissists, they are mentally unstable. Their what's the word? Their nervous system is is unstable. When your cortisol levels rise, your stress levels, you will hallucinate. So they're always under some type of extreme stress anyway. That's why they want to cause you to be under stress. They're projecting. So if your cortisol levels are extremely high and you're in a state of stress, fear, survival, you're going to hallucinate. They need some fucking milk. They're going to hallucinate. Delusional. Exactly. That's my favorite word right there. Delulu. They are delusional and in a state of self-sabotage. So that's what they want for you. They want for you to be just like them. Double-minded, out your power, hallucinating, delusional. Shit. Mm-mm. You know them by their fruits. You will know them by their fruits. If they are a sovereign being and they know who they are and they've healed and they're empaths, not narcissistic, you will know. Because they're not going to try to tear you down and they're not trying to energy siphon from you because they depleted within themselves. And they're disconnected from source. And they want to lie to themselves and self-sabotage and pull you into their vortex of sabotage. No, we going for harmony. We need harmony. We need evolution. We need ascension. We need higher consciousness. You know, we want to question things and we need to gain new perspectives. They don't want that. They don't want growth. They don't want expansion. They want to stay in the same karmic, narcissistic loops and keep you trapped in that shit. No. Belt to ass. Make them stand on principle. Whether they want to recognize principle or not, you make their ass stand on it because you stand for principle. You cut their bitch ass off because that's what they deserve to be. You don't feel guilty doing it. Choose yourself. Respect yourself. And love yourself. Because they in a state of anxiety, self-sabotage, while you going, you in peace, harmony, and balance. They want to keep playing pussy, give fuck, let them do that. Because you got respect, truth, and control. And you the master of your reality. They want to control your reality and create illusions for you to keep you trapped. Oh no, playing games and stuff. Had you amongst the walking dead. Let them stay there. That's what they deserve, not you. They want to play with people. Hold on, okay. You got the remote? I see you, Patrick, but I'm probably about to get up off here anyway. I just want to come through with a word, you know. Encourage the collective and just tap in with y'all on this beautiful no, it's Saturday. I was going to say Sunday. Beautiful Saturday night. Don't forget to keep up with your spiritual protection too, right? Spiritual protection. Use your spiritual tools to protect yourself and keep your vibrations high. They can't fuck with you when you in a high vibration. They can send all the black magic all they want. They can talk about you all they want. They can do whatever they want to do, whatever. Alchemize that energy that they send it to you. Use it to become an even greater version of yourself. Nothing they can do can harm you. Nothing. Nothing they do, nothing they say, no matter who they pay, no practitioner, no nothing. And that's how you got to be, because as long as they can get you to downward spiral, then they got you where they want you. Yep. You say use that energy to improve. Facts. You said don't forget to water your spiritual gardens. Absolutely. Absolutely. It's never a competition. It's never worry about your own garden, like you saying. Your spirit, take care of yourself. They send in all type of magic and, beauty spells and trying to get you to look like what they actually is. Use that energy to come to level up. Keep your spiritual garden nice and clean. Absolutely. While they worry about you, they got weeds growing, killing up the good stuff. That's their problem. They ain't sure that's their problem, not yours. That ain't my problem. You wanna worry about me and what I'm doing and use your energy to send it over here? Well, 111 on the timer. I'm gonna use it to level up. And when you come back, I'm gonna be even greater. And you're gonna be bigger mad. You're gonna be big mad. Let these people worry you. Yep, transition, liberation, ending, bring new beginnings. It's growth. So we focusing on us, Divine Collective. No matter what. No matter what. Yeah, the Phoenix. Look, the Phoenix. We got the Phoenix rising. New phase, transformation, rising from the dark. Wow. Yep. I can't get this to light. The Phoenix. Sometimes I just like to have my cards next to me as I talk. I've been and got the message already. But sometimes I might forget something and I just need to elaborate more on some things. Change mine. Yeah, once some motherfuckers show you who they is, just believe them. Believe them. The first time. Don't get nobody 2 or 3 times. Because people will string you along as long as you let them. They will. Yep, ascending, obstacles, learning, expansion. Look, it's harvest time. It's harvest time. And I really, really, look, butterfly clock. I love this. Separation in the reverse. Look, it's time. You got the keys, right? Ascending, clock, divine timing. Butterfly, relationship evolving. That could be with your personal self. We got the Phoenix rising, healing your inner child, growth, expansion, connecting to divine counterparts, your soul tribe and your soul family. Because what we put built to ask, we're demon slayers, right? We're demon slayers. And we alchemize the bullshit. And we become better. And I'm gonna leave that here, y'all. It's been a little over an hour. 144 on the clock. That's the number 9. 144, 144,000 frequency is what that represents. We right on the money. So I say to y'all, peace and prosperity to y'all. Y'all have a big, beautiful day on purpose with the purpose. Be sure to leave a comment for those that catch this replay. I appreciate you all. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your donations, your super chats when you send them, and my silent supporters. I appreciate y'all too. Y'all know I can't forget about y'all. See y'all.